What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Peter Glenn, and in this video we're going to talk to you a little bit about outerwear and the first things you should look at when you're going to buy a new jacket or pants. Let's check this out. All right, when we're out playing in the snow, we got to stay dry, we got to stay warm no matter what we're doing, whether it's snowboarding, skiing, or even just sledding, having a snowball fight. So we're gonna need a good jacket and pair of pants. So right off the bat, the best piece of advice I always give people is look at the price. If you spend more, you get more. And usually I'll say when you spend more, you get more. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. That's a little bit more on the hard goods side of things. But when it comes to outerwear, more than 9 times out of 10, if you do spend more on your outerwear, you're definitely gonna get better outerwear. Another thing a lot of people say too is they're like, oh, I'm not that good. I don't need really nice stuff. The actual fact is no matter how good you are, you need to stay dry and you need to stay warm when you're out playing in the snow. And especially if you're just learning, you're actually gonna be spending more time in situations where you're gonna be colder than somebody who is gonna be riding all the time and moving all the time, and they're actually gonna be exerting a lot of energy to help their bodies stay warmer. So actually, if you are a less experienced rider, good outerwear can make a huge difference while you're out learning to ride. So when you spend more on your outerwear, the things that you're gonna be getting is you're gonna be getting better waterproofing, better insulation, better materials, nicer linings, a lot more features basically. So right off the bat, if you're in the store, just check the tags. And if you're shopping online, just go ahead and look through the descriptions. You'll actually see all that extra stuff that's basically gonna help you stay comfortable while you're riding. Now, obviously the first thing to look at is the waterproof and the breathability ratings. Staying warm is all about staying dry, and that's from the outside and from the inside. That's why both of these numbers are very important. So higher waterproofing, that's basically going to hold the water out more. And they're basically going to be a number. They'll say either 5,000 or 5K, 10,000, 10K, and on up. And basically when you see those numbers, the higher the number actually means the more waterproof it is. And then when you get into materials like Gore-Tex, this stuff is 100% waterproof. So what those numbers mean is basically 5K or 5,000, that basically means if we took a 1 inch by 1 inch kind of like, square tube, and it was 5,000 millimeters tall, if we fill that all the way up with water, once we get to the top, there's gonna be enough pressure that it's actually gonna start soaking through the material. So obviously the higher the number, the more water it's gonna hold out. And this basically comes into play not just when snow is hitting you, but maybe if it's a rainier day, or when you're sitting down in the snow, or obviously if there's just some snow on the lift and you sit down into that. So again, that higher number, it's gonna hold the water out better. And then you're gonna see very similar numbers, and they might say G, like 5G or 5,000 G. And basically what that is the breathability rating. So just like with the waterproofing, the higher the number, the more breathable it is. And why this is very important is that staying warm is all about staying dry. And I always say first layer, super important. If you are sweating, you wanna have something against your body that wicks the moisture away from your body so you stay dry, and that way you're gonna stay warmer. And we'll leave a link in the description to the video down below. It's all about layering. But again, the best way to describe this is if you are outside in the cold, you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, and yeah, you might dry them with a hand dryer, with a towel or something, but when you walk outside, now your hands are even colder. That's because there's still some moisture in your skin that is now freezing. So again, we wanna get that sweat, we wanna get that away from our bodies. If we're wearing something like cotton right against our body, it soaks up the sweat, holds it against our body, and now you're cold. So again, that's why first layer is super important. But on the outerwear side of things, the more breathable a material is, the less you're actually gonna sweat. The more your body can breathe, which means there's gonna be less sweating, and that means your first layer actually has to do less work. So again, higher waterproofing and higher breathability are not a bad thing, no matter what skill rider you are. So again, those are the main 3 things you wanna look at. Look at the price, look at the waterproofing, look at the breathability. And then beyond that, you can look at all the other features. Those are just gonna be bonuses. Look at things like the insulation in the jacket. Is it just a straight up shell where there's nothing inside? Does it have a nice lining inside of it? Is it a fully insulated jacket? And what kind of insulation does it have inside of it? And those are basically a lot of things that you can look at to kind of see what you're getting out of your outerwear. A lot of 3-in-1 stuff is really, really cool to look at, like the 686 Smarty lineup. Basically jackets and pants that actually have a removable liner. So those are pretty cool. When you have a 3-in-1 jacket, you basically have a fully insulated jacket, remove the liner, now we've got a shell jacket, and then a lot of times those liners, they're basically a hoodie, a fleece, basically something that you can actually wear on its own. So you really get 3 jackets in one. Another big thing to look at too, like I said, is Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex, the waterproof rating is basically infinity, and the breathability rating is through the roof as well. And there are different levels of Gore-Tex. So when you do spend more on your Gore-Tex, you actually are gonna get lighter weight, more breathable Gore-Tex. And Gore-Tex is a cool material because you might look at a jacket and it might say technical shell, and it's Gore-Tex, and it's $500–600. And you might think that's a crazy, crazy number. But the really cool thing is that when you do get into some of those jackets, and even some of the jackets that aren't Gore-Tex, that basically have no liner on the inside, and when you look inside it, you can literally see all the taped seams and everything. Those jackets are actually really, really nice. They're very, very versatile. Those are gonna be your waterproofing, your breathability, and that's it. And then what you can do is vary the warmth with what you wear underneath. Your first layer, your second layer, you can shed layers, and these jackets are really, really useful because you can actually use them even in the summertime as a rain jacket because there is zero insulation in them. But again, those things are basically built to be the most waterproof and breathable jackets that you can have, and then again, vary that warmth with what you wear underneath it. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. When you're shopping at peterglenn.com, you can kind of look at all the different outerwear, and if you're comparing 2 things side by side, if you're looking at a $200 pair of pants from any company, they're probably gonna be very, very similar. You look at the waterproof ratings, you look at the features that come along with it. You could maybe be looking at a $200 pant and maybe it is a 5K waterproofing, but it's a fully insulated pant. You might be looking at another $200 pant that's a 10K waterproofing, but it doesn't have any insulation. So basically look at those features and basically kind of figure out what is gonna work best for you. But in the end of the day, as long as you take care of it, you're gonna have a jacket and pants for a long, long time. So it can't hurt to invest a little bit of money on it. Another thing that I always suggest too, that if you do have, let's say, $600 to spend on a jacket and pants, spend the majority of the money on your pants. No matter what the weather is doing, you're always gonna wear your pants. If it's a warm spring day, you might be wearing a hoodie, you might even be in a t-shirt, but you're always gonna be wearing your pants. So I always say it's a little bit better to invest in the pants than it is in your jacket. Over on the other side of things, you could be using a jacket as your everyday jacket. This Burton AK jacket is actually fully lined on the inside. It's a down-filled jacket. It's super, super warm. And it's actually a very, very nice jacket to wear day to day and to wear snowboarding. So you could actually invest a little bit more in your jacket and use it every single day too. But again, just choose your outerwear and choose it wisely. But if you got any questions beyond what we talked about in this video, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we can get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure that it's actually going to fit you, it's going to fit your riding style, and it's also going to fit your needs for what you're going to need to stay comfortable in the snow. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too. We want to find out when all the new videos drop, and grab yourself a new jacket, new set of pants, and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.